Mama, what's on TV?
Oh, honey, it's Reggie McDaniel.
How y'all doing? All right, dear. Hi, I'm Reggie McDaniel, and this is my entertainment guide. I am gonna have a ball with you, and hopefully you'll have a ball with me. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about some movies. We're gonna talk about all kind of stuff. Now, with your pocketbook in mind, let me tell you about the rating system. One of the things I'm gonna do is let you know whether you see it on the big screen. For instance, Star Wars, you had to see it on the big screen. You had to see it with a crowd and the audience. You had to make an event out of it. But then there's other movies that you want to see on the big screen, but you don't want to pay so much. So you go see it on a matinee where it's cheaper. Then there's the third group of movies that you want to wait till they come out on DVD. You rent it for a couple of bucks, and then you take it back to the store and be done with it. You've seen it, but you've seen it on your home TV. Then there's the fourth class of movies, and all you want to do is see that on free TV. Not even pay TV, free TV. That's how we're gonna rate our movies. Now, what gives me the right to tell you about the movies? Well, I go watch movies. Some folks say that I like every movie. I'm not gonna say who, but folks say I like every movie. I don't like every movie. In fact, I thought Borat sucked. But most movies I do like. And what I'm gonna do is tell you why I like them. Ever since I was a little kid, I've gone to the movies. When I had children, I took them to the movies. When I was in the military, 20 long years, I went to movies all the time. And once I retired from everything that I retired from, I've gone to movies. I see maybe 300 movies a year. In fact, last year, I saw 311 movies. Now that sounds like a lot, because it's only 365 days. But just imagine, 18,300 movies were made last year, and I only saw 311. We're getting ready to do something that I really enjoy. I'm gonna introduce you to a fellow that got me started in this business. Without him, I never would be where I am today. We'll talk about him when we return after these words from our sponsors.
Somehow the question came up about eating a monkey, a cat, or a dog if you're on a
desert island, yeah.
Deserted island.
You know, this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for this man right here, Mr. Scott Hastings. We met over the phone.
Are you going to tell him how we really met?
Over the telephone,
okay,
basically. I was driving around and I was listening to the radio and heard you and Dave Logan on the radio, and you had asked Dave Logan a question. What was that?
Well, we were talking because, you know, after a while, a sports show drags a little bit.
Right.
And so different things came up. We said, well, if you were stuck on a deserted island and you had to eat an animal and all that was there was cats, dogs, or a monkey, which one would you eat?
Yeah.
And so, cats are nice and dogs are man's best friend and monkey stuff. And we're getting calls, oh, a cat, And then all of a sudden we get this guy, Reggie. So we go to Reggie and he goes, well, I was in the military and I've eaten all three. And I'm like, no, we thought it was a joke at first. But that isn't a joke. I mean, you've eaten
all three.
Cat, dog, and a monkey. which I'm not sure a lot of people would brag about, but I mean, on the other hand, Reggie did. So you told the story where you ate all three.
Right. And I said, well, I had dog in Korea.
Which you said was tasty.
Very tasty.
Right.
Little gamey, but it was tasty. It was good with rice.
Yeah.
And I had monkey in Panama. They had monkey on the stick for a quarter. And all their parades, absolutely delicious.
Really?
And then you interrupted and said, were you in Vietnam? And I said, yeah, naturally. You said, is that where you had cat? And I said, no, I had cat at a Chinese restaurant in St. Louis, you know, which I did. They had a health inspector that was shutting the restaurant down, and it turned out we was eating cat. But I wouldn't give them mine because it was so good. It was so delicious, cat fried rice. And my wife, my then wife, gave the health inspector her box of food, and it turned out to be cat.
Well, so anyway, that's kind of how we met, and then we invite you back the next week. We'll, you know, go to some place and eat, because you eat you eat all the time. And
well, what I did was, when I told that story, y'all used that for a promo. So then I called back that next week, and I said, you know, y'all done ruined my life. And you were saying, Scott, how did we ruin your life? And I said, well, I'm supposed to have a barbecue this weekend, and I got a cat and a dog, and all my friends know it, so won't nobody come by for the barbecue? You know, just joking around. So you said, why don't you go to a restaurant and call us back and tell us what you've eaten?
That started, what, for the next 3, 4, 5 months?
Yeah.
Calling in every, Friday?
Every Friday I would call in.
About, and then that evolved.
Yeah, folks started asking me to go places, and then restaurants started calling, and I was telling them, if you have no faith in your cook, don't ask me to come, because this ain't going to be a free commercial. I'm going to tell the truth on your food.
And out of that came a food critic.
Right.
And out of that came
movie review.
Yeah.
Because we was at the People's Fair and talking to the audience and stuff. Then a young lady who was the KOA's program director asked me if I had my own show, what would it be? I said, movies. She said, why movies? And I said, because I see 300 of them a year. She says, nobody sees 300 movies a year. I said, I do, you know. So she said, write a proposal and submit it and then audition. So I did. And they gave me a 2-hour audition. And that first half hour was the worst radio that you ever want to hear. The worst radio you ever want to hear. I was horrible. I was scared. I was in the room by myself. I didn't know what to do. Then in the middle of it, I said, wait a minute. When you go to a movie, what do? Whether you like it or whether you hate it, you talk about it with your friends. And that's all I'm doing, talking to my friends, except I can't see them. So give me a call at 3, and that's how I got started. And I've been doing it ever since for the last 10 years.
Well, let me ask you this. When you started now, to where you are now, what you got going now, but the lessons you learned, I mean, it's still, it's an evolution, if you will. And what would be the one thing, if you would tell people want to do what you did out there, what would you tell them, what you learned to give them a shortcut?
Well, the main thing I've learned probably is to have faith in yourself. If you believe in yourself, God will put you where you need to be in order to do what he needs you to do. Now, a lot of people look at this job, entertainment, and figure, God don't need that. But I reach a lot of people, and I form a lot of opinions of those people, and people form a lot of opinions. Some of them actually start doing things a little different because of the things I say. So believe in yourself, and you'll be ready.
That's strong right there. See, everybody thinks you're just a movie guy, and all of a sudden you're going strong on it right there.
When we come back, we're going to talk about movies, and we're going to talk about some good movies too.